Hello everyone, welcome back to the series of basics of software testing. Uh, in today's video, uh, I will cover the most asked question uh, in an interview, or it is the concept that is used currently in agile methodology a lot. That is smoke and sanity testing. Smoke and sanity testing. So, in order to understand what smoke is, what sanity is, we need to be uh, make sure that what all functionalities come under it, right? What is smoke? What is sanity? Why do we do it? Okay. So, I'm going to give you a very high level answer to this, which is acceptable across all companies interviews, and make sure that you go through this answer only, because you will find a lot of versions of smoke and sanity online. Okay. First, let me put it in a definition form, that what is smoke and what is sanity. So smoke testing, it verifies, okay, it verify the critical functionality, of your application. I will explain what is critical functionality is and how do we test it. So in smoke testing, we verify critical functionality from end to end. Okay. I hope you are familiar with this term end to end now. We verify the critical functionality end to end, whereas in sanity testing we focus on any particular functionality. Okay, we focus on any particular functionality of the application, if it is working fine or not. Okay, if it is working fine or not. When do we do smoke, when do we do sanity? This is what the agenda of this video is. When do we do it, right? Because definition is one thing that anybody can explain in an interview, or anybody can perform while doing the real-time project. But when do we need to do it, right? And how do we do it is what I'm going to explain here. I'm going to consider an example, we have this website. Okay, this is the website that we are practicing on, and we will continue to practice on this website because it is straightforward and everything is seamless here. Let's say we had this website which is working on the production. Okay. uh, Production means the real environment where the customer uses it. So this website was working on production. So every now and then we encounter that some websites break, right? You must have seen this kind of errors, that 404 not found, right? Or the server is busy, 504 server is busy. So these kind of errors we see normally in a day to day on any website. So what could be the reason behind it? So why are these specific numbers are coming, is the real question here. So 404 is an issue which is related to an error that caused in the backend of Java. That some There could be the issue related to credential, or it could be a issue related to the code which we have written. Okay, it will specifically be the reason of the code error, code issue. Whereas 504 or 500 series, basically this is 400 series error, this is 500 series error, these are caused by the servers. Okay, server is nothing but a computer system, a uh, high-end computer system installed in any premise. So these servers basically contains the code. It contains the code that are online all the time. Okay, you must have seen some server rooms, and in day-to-day life, or maybe in some movies also, uh, you must have seen that these are the server rooms and they are kept under air condition, because servers run all the time. They need to be kept cool, and they need to be working fine all the time, and they are kept under a high security, right? Because it contains the data, right? You must have listened about NIC, that is National Informatics Center. NIC have their data centers set up where they have servers and they are under high security, and all the data is contained in these servers. So servers issue could cause a website to break, and 404s are the code errors that cause the break of the application. Okay, 404 not found is one of the error, 400 is one of the error, 401 is one is error. So likewise we have different kind of errors, codes basically. So a code identifies the type of the error. If I put it in a simple word, the code will identify what kind of error is there on the website. So when there is an error on the production website, because this website is developed by us, our team. So when there is an error, so client raise that there is a production issue, right? Because it is on production, the real time environment. So on production, there is an issue. They will say that there is an issue on the production, and they will ask our team to just make sure that this issue is resolved as soon as possible. So what our team will do, what would be the task that our team will take, is what we are going to discuss. So once the client raises an issue, the developer of our team and the tester, that is us, it is our responsibility to make sure that this issue is actual or not. What could be the reason of this issue? What could be the reason of the issue? Reason, or we can say the cause. What is the cause of this issue? So we need to find the cause, right? What is the actual cause? What is the root cause? I would say, what is the root cause of this error? And to do that, we perform root cause analysis. The developer, the tester, they perform the root cause analysis, that is the RCA. You will hear this term a lot. What is the RCA? What was the root cause analysis of the issue? So for example, what the client will do, they will raise a Jira only. Okay, they will also have the access of Jira, and they will raise a Jira ticket, and from their end also they will write some description. As we write, they will also write some description, that what kind of issue is happening. They will give us the brief description of that issue. They could write a simple description that let's say login button is not working. This could be the issue. Or after login, last login date is not displayed. Okay, last login date means when the user have logged in last time, that date is not displayed after the user is logging in. So these are two different issues, and let's say these are the issues that are coming. Let's take this example, that after login, the last login date is not displayed. They could also mention the steps, that how did they find the issue, or they could just simply give us the description of the issue. Now as a tester, what we need to do is, we need to find this issue. We need to find this issue on release environment. Please mark my words. We need to find this issue on the release environment. Why on release environment? Because the issue is on the production. So why do we do it on release environment? Because the release environment, if you remember, we move this release environment code to the production only, right? That means the code that is on production, the code that is on production, the exact copy of that code is on release environment as well. Correct? The exact copy of that code is on release environment as well. Because the code that frequently change is of QA environment or UAT environment. This code keeps changing because new requirements keep coming up and the code changes. But the release environment code is the code that is stable, and it is the exact copy of the production code. So this means is, if the issue is happening on the production, now since the code on the release is the copy of production, that means the issue that is on production, that issue should also be there in the release environment. Correct? So we need to make sure that this issue is found on the release environment. By find I means we need to reproduce the defect. You will hear this term a lot, that you need to reproduce the same defect of production into the release environment. How do you do it? Simply you have to follow the description, or you have to follow the steps that are mentioned in the description. So that way you can reproduce the defect. Now, let's suppose you perform the steps. You perform the steps in the release environment and you found out that yes, the defect is there. Okay, yes, the defect is there. The defect that is mentioned in the Jira, it is in the release environment as well. So you can simply tell your developer that issue is present issue is present in the release environment as well. Please fix the defect. Please fix the defect. And you will simply assign this Jira to the developer. Okay. You will simply assign this Jira to the developer. You will mention these things in the comment section, and you will also tag your manager, your lead, or any other concerned person into the comment as well, so that they will receive an email. As we have discussed in last video, whenever you tag anyone in Jira ticket, they will receive an email. So once you do this, the developer will start working on it. They will fix the defect. They will assign the Jira back to you. You will perform the testing now, right? You will perform the testing now. So here comes into the picture the smoke and sanity test. Now, since we are fixing only a piece of code that has the error, right? There would be a piece of code which contains this error, because your application is vast, right? It is huge. There could be certain piece of code in which this error came, and due to which the production has raised this issue. So developer will fix this piece of code only, and if he is fixing this code and assigning it back to you, why would you perform the regression testing on it? Right? Why would you perform the regression testing on it? You will perform here the smoke testing and sanity testing. Okay, here you will perform the smoke and sanity testing. So how will you do it? Because smoke testing says we need to focus on the critical functionality, and sanity says we need to focus on the particular functionality. So for smoke testing, you will pick some critical end-to-end scenarios. Okay, you will pick some critical end-to-end scenario, and you will check if or not these functionalities are working. So these critical functionality will include the test step. Okay, this critical functionality should include, not will, it should include the test step that is going through this particular piece of code or the functionality. It should go through, your flow should go to this particular piece of code, so that we are sure that the flow is correct after the fix. Because this particular piece of code will lie in a between of a particular flow, right? Let's suppose if you have login page, and if you have products page, and also you have payment page. So let's say the issue was in product page. The production issue was in product page. So what will you do? Once the code is fixed, you need to make sure that the flow that is going from login to product to payment is picked for the smoke testing. Okay, the test case in which the flow is going from login to product and finally to payment, you should pick this particular flow and you should test it. Okay, the test case are going to remain constant. You need to pick the test case that includes this particular piece of code that has been fixed, so that you could be sure that yes, now this a particular piece of code is working fine and it has not affected the flow, right? This is the purpose why we are doing this, because we need to make sure the flow is not hindered. So once we do that, we are sure that now the application is working fine, our smoke testing is successful, and finally we do some sanity. So sanity is need to make sure that the functionalities are good, everything is at their place in the UI, and there is no unwanted data or unwanted actions being performed on the web page. Just we need to make sure everything is sane on the website. So this is what is done is as a part of smoke testing or sanity testing. We can write the test cases also by just mentioning in a remark column that this is a smoke test, this is a sanity test, and then we perform these two types of testing. If you explain to your interviewer when he asks what is smoke and sanity, and you explain these many things in a very calm and precise manner, they will understand that yes, you have the knowledge of what is smoke and what is sanity. That is all is required. You need to be make sure that you are giving your interviewer the essence that you have the knowledge of the process. Okay, technical knowledge is gained by everyone. It is the process that is not a knowledge part for everyone. You need to make sure that you have that knowledge, you have that sense of the process, and that way uh, you are going to be a perfect fit for any kind of job and you could crack any interview. So this is about the smoke and sanity testing. In next video, I'll cover the next important topic in basic software testing. Thank you.